This clip will introduce you to the transparency-related section, elevation, and interior elevation display enhancements made to building materials. ArchiCAD 18 introduces transparency-related enhancements for the display of composite structure and complex profile skins in all viewpoints. In section elevation and interior elevation viewpoints, if you have a composite structure or complex profile that has a transparent skin, the program now displays the view of the skin's neighboring skins' slanted surfaces. The feature works for all element types using composite structures or complex profiles. For a skin to be considered completely transparent by ArchiCAD in section elevation and interior elevation viewpoints, 3 conditions must be met. Select the wall, right-click, and select the Edit Selected Complex Profile command from the context menu. You can see in the Profile Manager that the composite uses the airspace building material. Leave the dialog, then select the Options, Element Attributes, Building Materials menu command to activate the Building Materials dialog. In the dialog, select the airspace item on the left pane. Its settings appear in the right pane. In the Structure and Appearance panel, 2 settings need to be set. The first is the Cut Fill Background pen, which needs to be set to 0, or the transparent value. The second is that the cut fill must be a solid fill type with a 0 opacity setting set in the Fill Types dialog. In the default ArchiCAD template file, airspace and background are 2 such file types. Please note that the air surface is assigned to the airspace building material. Leave the dialog, then select the Options, Element Attributes, Surfaces menu command to activate the Surface Settings dialog, then select the air surface. The third value that needs to be set is the transmittance slider in the transparency field of the Exposure to Light panel. The slider needs to be set to a value of 100 for this surface. Setting these 3 settings to the values mentioned gives us a fully transparent building material in section, elevation, and interior elevation viewpoints. It must be noted that the surface's transmittance settings has a more complex, more gradual effect in these viewpoints. If the transmittance slider is set to any value between 0 and 50, the building material will be opaque in the 3D document viewpoint. If it's set to any value between 51 and 99, the building material will be transparent and you will see into the skin. The boundary surfaces of the skin, in this case, will be generated using the building material surface. Finally, if the transmittance slider is set to 100, the skin will be fully transparent and you will see the surfaces of the neighboring skins. So to recap, the cut fill of the skin's building material must be set to a solid fill with 0 opacity. The building material's cut fill background pen must be set to 0, and the transmittance value of the building material surface must be set to a value of 100. Also, the transparency checkbox in the model display panel of the section, elevation, or interior elevation settings dialog must be checked to achieve the intended representation.